Hi viewers, I'm Troy Dreyer, Senior Associate Editor with StreamingMedia.com, coming to you from the NAB Show 2013. My guest here is Sean Knapp, Chief Technical Officer for Ooyala. Hi Sean.
Hi Troy, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So this year it seems like one of the big themes we're seeing is live video. I know you guys just did a big study that live video keeps people engaged more. Why is live video so appealing online, and are we going to see a lot of live video coming online this year?
Well, I think we are, and what we're finding is that live video, or even more specifically linear video, it's really a lot of the content that we're watching on our TVs today, and we're seeing that move more into the online world as the lines really do start to blur between online video and traditional television. We're also finding a lot of popularity with sports, obviously, as we're able to actually get across more devices, simply because sports are one of the few types of content where being able to watch it as it happens is incredibly valuable to the consumer, and as a result, they're trying much harder to get it on their Android devices, their iOS devices, as well as their PCs, really wherever they happen to be when they're actually trying to acquire that content. So what we're noticing is a huge push towards live, and as a result, people are actually watching a lot more content, and they're staying engaged much longer than they traditionally have with like short form content.
Whenever people talk about live video online, sports is the first thing that comes up. What are the other things that are popular in live video online?
Sure, we see a lot of other really popular forms of content. We see a lot of interviews, a lot of news-based content. We also have customers like Bloomberg who are doing some really interesting stuff where they're actually taking their traditional linear feed for the Bloomberg channel and make that available entirely online for 3 different regions, as well as available in their iPad app as well.
Are we going to start seeing live linear feeds from cable and satellite companies where people can just get a real TV-like experience on their computer?
I think we're going to. One of our customers is the Pac-12, and they've done a really interesting thing with their app experience, which they're able to actually provide more content online than they actually are in their traditional channel. So when you open up their iPad app, for example, you're able to watch any one of 7 different linear feeds, whereas if I turned on, say, my Comcast subscription at home, I'll only get one feed, whatever feed is actually been selected by Comcast. So what we're seeing is not only are these linear options moving online and becoming available as part of TV Everywhere and other bundles, but the consumers are actually getting more choice and more control than they're able to get with traditional broadcast.
Terrific. And you guys just did a study showing how much popular live is than video on demand, how it keeps people engaged. Do you have some numbers to share with that?
Sure. What we're finding is from hours of content consumed, 3/4 roughly of content consumed across our broadcast customers is all in the long form content realm. Less and less percentage-wise is short-form content, and this is really indicative of the migration that we see from all the content that you and I watch on a daily basis on TV. It just simply as it migrates online.
Mm-hmm. Is there a certain type of viewer that prefers the live experience online? Is it younger or certain other demographics?
What we're finding is this actually spans all viewer types. More of it actually spans device types as well. Obviously, we see on the PC and on mobile devices a slight bias towards shorter form content than longer form content, but even on PCs, over 50% still is actually long form content or live content that's really contributing to the hours consumed.
So live video is one theme that we're really seeing strong here at NAB this year. Another is HEVC, H.265. It's everywhere. It was supposed to be like 5 years from general use, but everyone here is tripping over themselves to add it to their products.
Right.
What's going on with that?
We see this as a fantastic improvement to what we're able to actually provide for a lot of consumers long term in the industry. Like all things, it takes time for the industry to properly invest and to actually cycle through certain devices such that we can actually have these capabilities. But this is going to play a very critical role, for example, in 4K TV and 4K adoption as well, simply because it lowers really the required bandwidth, for example, to push a 4K experience out to those devices. So I think this is absolutely the right year for everybody to really be investing, because it will still take some time as the adoption curve catches up until this becomes mainstream. But this is, from Ooyala's perspective, is one of the areas where we invest very heavily and very early on to make sure that a lot of our customers and a lot of our partners are able to take advantage of this very early on in the adoption trend as well.
When will we see 4K reach the home viewer in this streamed video?
It's a really good question. We have to work through, obviously, some of the infrastructure requirements to be able to deliver those higher bit rates. Obviously, we need more device penetration. I think you're going to see it, probably not this year en masse, but over the next year, 2 years, I think we're going to see this really begin to take off. Again, it's going to be an early adopter model, which is a pretty classic sort of adoption curve that we see across devices. Not too dissimilar from when we looked at CES and NAB 2 years ago. Those are really the year of mobile devices, right? Everybody's very excited about Android. Everybody's very excited about iOS. This is the year of 4K, but it won't hit mainstream for a couple more years.
Ooyala has plenty of announcements tied to this NAB. I know you've got some partnerships that you just announced, one of them with AEG Digital. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, AEG is a great partner of Ooyala, as we're both leaders in our respective fields. We work very closely with them to essentially get content acquisition for, honestly, a lot of our large linear content providers, and help use that to then push it through Ooyala's platform and distribute that out across multi-device experiences in a highly monetizable way.
Terrific. Well, thank you for joining me, Sean. I appreciate it. This is Troy Dreyer with Streaming Media, coming to you from NAB 13.
Thanks, Alter.